Good morning. 1 Corinthians 13:4 says that love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. And Colossians 3:19 also states that husbands, love your wives and do not be harsh with them. It doesn't matter what my name is, but what does matter is that you learn from my story. I am the victim of years of verbal and emotional abuse at the hands of my ex, and I'm still living with what I went through. Some may ask how I got in this mess. Very simple. My father raised me the old way, which was to be submissive to men. This is what he knows as a Christian man. And in a Christian household, headed by a man who follows God's word, that's okay. But it's not okay in an abusive household. And this is why I'm here today. What may be scary to you is that because there are no visible scars, no one believes your stories of abuse. But make no mistake, verbal and emotional abuse is meant to emotionally destroy you. Your abuser will cleverly use words and silent treatment as weapons against you. And if you don't heed my words, he will destroy you. All the experts agree. Your abuser is using his lack of self-esteem, as a means to crush yours. But there are signs to look out for, including those on the websites below that I have listed. I experienced all of these and more while dating and in marriage. A. Using words to shame. My ex would call me illogical, stupid, fat. Do I look fat to you? Even when I was only 114 pounds, etc., etc. But he didn't do this one time. He did this many, many times. For years, even while I was pregnant with my children. He made life horrible. And as a pregnant woman, what you don't need is stress. It can cause stress on the child. It can also cause illnesses on your child as a result of your stress level. False apologies. He'll say he's sorry or do something to apologize, like buy something expensive or buy something out of the way. But it's a false apology because after he gives it to you, he'll make a comment, if it wasn't for you, etc. Yelling, swearing, and screaming. My ex would scream at me even for dropping water on the floor while washing dishes. He would yell at me for hours, even when his own transgressions were discovered and I dared to challenge him on them. Blaming the victim. I was blamed for all kinds of things. If I hadn't spilled the water, if I just did what I was told, if I just listened to this person or that person who had nothing to do with the marriage, etc. I was even blamed for his inability to get a full-time job. He decided to be self-employed. I was working full-time, making about $50,000 a year at the time, and paying his health insurance. And then when the children came, their health insurance. He paid none. Your feelings are dismissed. He would never acknowledge his actions or the pain coming from it. He would say things like, if I had trusted him implicitly, I would have less problems, even though I was aware that he was committing adultery with women and men. E. You often wonder why you feel so bad. I can't tell you how many times I used to sit in the car in front of our home at the time, afraid to go in. I even got to the point where I calculated what to say so that I would keep problems at bay. And lastly, manipulating your actions. As noted on other websites out there on the internet, this did not become a serious reality until the end of our marriage. When I dared to get away, he told me that if I were in Haiti, I'd be dead by now. He told me this twice. He owns a gun. And he used the courts to restrict my movements. Unlike the other advice given on websites out there, I'm going to give you some clear-cut advice that is wrought from personal experience. If you are married to a man of high net worth who is verbally and emotionally abusive and you have no children, get out of the marriage right now. Today. Before you have children. If you're pregnant, same. Get out now. Go to your nearest church, synagogue, community center, or women's shelter. Get some help. Take what you can and don't go back. Enlist the help of trusted family and friends who are really on your side. Don't go to his family. Stick to your own. High net worth individuals have the means and the community contacts to make your life and the life of your children miserable. And because they have money, they can persuade people around you to set you up, or tell lies up against you. Money really knows no bounds. You are married to a man of high net worth and you have children, whether you have a job or not, make haste and interview various attorneys today. Forget about the cost right now. There are means out there for those who have nothing or very little. Do your research too. This is especially true for people who are in small towns. Make sure the attorney you choose is not connected to your husband and his attorney in any way. Trust me, if your attorney is connected to him and can't be persuaded to lay down via money, you are in trouble. Powers that be can also be paid off too. It may seem like the task is daunting and above your head, but if you have someone who is willing to fight for you, family, friends, attorneys, church members, etc., and they are not in your husband's camp, you have a better chance to get out with your children. Verbal abuse only gets better with the help of God. Don't take revenge or take matters into your own hands. Don't do anything that you think may go against you. Don't even see a counselor. Yes, I said it. Do not see a counselor. These type of people will use counselors and the fact that you're trying to seek help against you in the court of law. Do not engage in conflict with your abuser. They feed off your pain, just like the Incredible Hulk feeds off of other people's anger and transgression. When you're engaged in the battle of divorce, this will become worse. Some men will use conflict that they started to get you thrown out of the house. This will make you homeless and separated from your children. Ladies, please, if you don't do anything, please hear my voice today. If you love your children, if you love yourself even a little, take your life back. These men are trying to make themselves feel good by mistreating you and in some cases mistreating your children. Some of you who don't heed my call today won't make it because some verbal abuse does lead to physical abuse, which can be fatal. For some of you, the abuse will be wrought on your children. Do you want that? Real men don't treat their wives, their significant others, their girlfriends, or their children this way. It's not Christian, it's not right, it's wrong. You and the kids are not property. You are made in God's own image and you are his child and his child alone. Trust me when I say, I know what you're going through. I don't want you to pay the price of trying to leave an abusive relationship like I did. You can get out today. You can get out of the abusive relationship. I end by saying that Colossians 3:25 says that anyone who does wrong will be repaid for their wrongs, and there is no favoritism in the eyes of God. Remember that. And in Proverbs 22:8 it says, whoever sows injustice reaps calamity, and the rod they wield in fury will be broken. As I stated before, work within the confines of the law. Do not take revenge into your own hands, but take solace in that God sees you, and if you have children, he sees them too. And if you heed my words, go to God in prayer and work to get out of the abusive relationship that you are in today. Today. I truly believe you and your children will be saved. To God be the glory. Thank you.